Okay, folks, on you go.
Matty, congratulations. A thoroughly dominant second half performance. What did you say to the guys at half time?
It was very much about our defence, really. We identified a few areas where we thought Catalans would potentially get some, or were getting a bit of joy and could do, down the left, down on me in particular. So there was a few technical things around our right of defence. We spoke about the importance of defending kicks in games like this. And then it was just a recap on what our message has been in recent months, really, which comes back to trusting one another, trusting the game plan itself, which more often than not the lads come up with. So I thought it was a good habit for us, trusting one another and sticking to it.
Recruitment's a big thing. What do you say about the guy to your side there, Jay? Getting a player like him, as you've done out of Huddersfield, he was fantastic tonight.
He was awesome. What I said to him is, thank you. I'm really grateful for him trusting us, coming to Wigan, and thank you for how he implies himself daily. And I'm not more proud of him because we won tonight. We love him day in, day out. So he works hard at his game. Great family around him. So I'm just pleased for him to have his moment, as I am the rest of the team. But that's why we signed him, and that's why he chose us.
Matty, you've been the dominant side this season, albeit only just, I suppose, but you've all made some great recruiting for next season. Can this be the start of, a great era for Wigan? Do you think? Some, the thing to build from rather than.
I think you always want to build on success, but I think when people are looking ahead to next year, they're underestimating some of the quality they've seen on the field tonight, and some of them will be moving on. But this will be reflected on a special group of players, a special group of men. And I often say, I think teams at Wigan, they don't always at the start of the season look like the best team, but quite often when you look back on years gone by, at team photographs, you think we had a good group there. And without looking forward, I want to reflect on this group of people, men, players, staff. I think we'll look back on this year's team as a special team, regardless. So what happens next, who knows, but we're going to enjoy being with this group.
Matty, your team didn't give Sam a sniff tonight. How big a part of your game plan was containing him and limiting his opportunities with the ball?
Yeah, of course, he's one of the best players. Every week we speak about opposition's threats, and Sam's no different. And obviously there was a story around Sam, but the respect we give him, as Faz mentioned, is preparing properly for the threat that he brings, his nature and competitiveness. And yeah, so no more, no less than we would have done last week when talking about OKR's threats. Sam's a special player, and couldn't have more respect than in our changing rooms.
What do you say about that defensive attitude, in the sense that they barely had a chance to do throughout 80 minutes? I mean, that must be something you're immensely proud of.
Proud. Yeah. Proud, not surprised, and I don't say that. I just trust them, they trust each other. I'd like to think we trust each other, players and staff. So, they did what they said they were going to do. The players did. The players do a lot of their own homework, they formulate a lot of their own ideas. And I'd like to think as a coaching staff, we give them our trust, and continuously the lads pay us back. And when it hasn't gone well this year, we'll lose together. Tonight we'll win together.
What about Liam Marshall? Matt, I think he won the Challenge Cup for you at Tottenham last season. He homegrown talent, scoring the only try tonight.
Did he score? I just remember him poking his head through a lot at the yardage when it was like, we've got some big aggressive defenders at Catalans, and the way he was getting in between people, playing the ball fast, his courage, he's an outstanding finisher, his instincts. I thought the left edge was causing problems all evening. We thought it might. Scores a try, probably unlucky to get pulled back for another one. And yeah, I hope he enjoys it because he works very hard.
He's got a bit of competition on the wing spots for England, hasn't he? Do you expect him to get the nod on Monday?
I don't get involved in England, but there's a lot of good wingers in there. So you can ask me any of our lads playing for England, I think you'll probably get the same responses. I found it you know, as a head coach, one, it'll keep me headed, but two, I think it's a difficult job to pick the England team, and whoever he picks will be the right people, I'm sure.
Liam, you've been at the club a long time and you've won 2 trophies in 2 years under Matt. What, I know he's sat next to you, but what makes him different and special?
No, I've just singled him out in the change rooms. He was praising everyone around him, the owner, the players, his staff members. But well and truly, he leads by example. He's a leader at the top and everyone follows him. He makes tough calls when it's needed. Puts the game plan in place, all the small things, all the detail. He does do all them 1%, all them extra efforts. And it's the reason why we're where we are. It's the reason we won the Champions Cup. It's the reason we won the league leaders, and now we're sitting here as Super League champions. So yeah, he's just a leader in every sense.
What about yourself, Liam? Obviously, first time mentioning the club winning the grand final. It's a thing that you said earlier on in the week. It would be a dream for you to happen. So how do you feel?
I remember when I got named the captain just before the start of pre-season last year, and first thing what comes in your head, you want to win the league, you want to win the grand final, and I didn't think the opportunity would ever come. I thought it would pass me by, but unbelievably proud of all the lads around me, the other 16 blokes who played. Just an unreal feeling, and just the fact that we can sit back in the off-season now and know we're champions and we've done everything we can do.
League Leaders Shield winners, and you celebrated pretty well for that. What's the plan tonight then?
A lot more than what we did for league leaders.
Jay, you had a lot of injuries as a youngster, so how sweet is it now to be sitting there as player of the match in the grand final, having played a massive part in winning the game?
Yeah, it's a really proud moment for myself and obviously my family. Obviously, just really grateful to Wigan and also to Matty for giving me the opportunity to come to this club and obviously be able to play in games like that.
Matty, Ivan Cleary said he wants to come over. How much are you looking forward to that challenge?
Yeah, we want to do that. I look forward to it. Be an honour. I'm really far about that. I know the club would like to go there. Yeah, it's an exciting thing for next year, for the future. And yeah, I suppose we can start to think about that on Tuesday. Yeah, maximum respect for them as an organisation. And this club has a great history playing in that competition, and that's where we should be.
You wouldn't mind playing them in Vegas instead?
Well, I'm going to play as well. No, we'll play anywhere. I'll let the people higher up the club than me sort all that out to make sure we're ready to play.
Just a word on Ian Lenigan, Matty. Give you your chance. He goes out at the club tonight, and I guess he'll be a proud man. What would you say about him?
It's hard to summarise, but I think for us to get the win tonight for him, he's fitting. I think the thing that he tried to instill, or he did instill in the build-up to 210 when he first got the club, took him a couple of years, and what he wanted was a winning culture. And that has so many things that underpin it. I suppose how you do everything within your club, not just how you play the game. But and I think during his tenure, he's led the club through good times and some tough times as well. You know, I always mentioned this week about those COVID times. One thing I've learned from watching him as a leader is how you lead during tough times. And yeah, so much admiration for him, and I hope he enjoys this victory because he certainly deserves it, him and his family. So much sacrifice for this club, not just the finances, but you imagine the time, the commitment, and the sleepless nights. And hopefully we've left him with a great memory tonight. And the players spoke quite a bit this week, and just then to him, made a presentation to him, and the best way to sum up him up is one of the team.
Jake, is the next 3 weeks something you've given any thought to, the test series?
Yeah, I think obviously being in the fight man squad, it's obviously something on my mind. But it's just been one of them for me. I've just been trying to focus on playing as well as I could for Wigan, and hopefully that'll take care of itself.
Matty, when you started off, obviously coaching the youth teams, did you ever see yourself being sat here right now knowing that you've won a grand final?
No. I've said it a few times, it just wasn't on my radar at all. It's not something that's, I'm not trying to be humble by saying that, I was just really happy, proud. When you get a job, or particularly when you first get a job like assistant coach in the scholarship at Wigan, head coach of the 18s, assistant to reserves. You're proud in your own right there. So, and you want to do the best job you can. So, I think if there's anything I've learned is to keep your head down and keep doing a decent job, and not worry about it. You look after the team, you look after the players you've got in a given time, and you take pride in that. And it's led me here, and I love it.
Put a lot of effort into going to schools, communities, and you know they must be so proud of you and the boys today. What do you have to say about your?
Firstly, it's not effort. We love doing it. It's part of our role as a club. The players buy into it, and they know 100% that it pays back and it affects you winning on the field, and it affects the momentum behind the club, which it's a snowball effect. I think you're not separate to the community, you're not separate to the clubs, the schools, the charities. You're part of it, and anyone who plays at this club will understand that. And, unfortunately, I've got a group of players who believe it anyway. You know, we've got good people, and most of them come through. Well, have a local clubs. You know, every one of our players has come through a community club and a school. So to think that they're separate to it is silly.
Liam, how proud of you of the team to be the first team in the grand final not to concede a try?
Is that, I didn't know that before.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and check.
Look, we've built our game all year on being defensively really good. And I only think the last couple of months we've actually started to see the good parts of it. To do what we've done in the grand final, you just said that, is probably a big achievement. It's just a big achievement for us, and it just shows what we've built our game. When we set a goal early in the year to be the best defensive team in the comp, we've achieved it. And yeah, just really proud of the lads' effort. Defence is not just tactical stuff, it's more down to your desire and your will to defend, and we've shown a lot of that tonight.
Liam, you've been around the club a number of years now. How does this team compare to previous Wigan teams that you've played in, would you say?
It's hard to compare different years, different players at different times. And I just think we've got a group of lads who've really bought into what we want to do. Yeah, there's some special individuals, but when you trust each other and you want to work for each other, then you're going to get a great team. You don't always have to have superstar players, but if everyone can buy into what we want to do, then you're going to get a great team. I think that's what we've got this year. It's special in its own right. I've been involved in other teams, but this one's just as special as any other.
Just thinking, Matty, that sort of refusal to let the opposition cross your line that Liam was referring to, how strong is that sort of collective spirit within your group?
It's evident, isn't it? Like, it's evident. So, Faz is, I couldn't put it better than Faz. Like, there is a lot of technical and tactical work that goes in, and Sean Loughlin deserves a huge amount of credit. But most teams will have good game plans, system structures. Comes back to the connection between the group and the trust. Never say die attitude. Understanding why you're doing it as a group, not just your own why, but respecting everyone else's reason to win. And hopefully it comes across when you watch us play.
Matt, in the first half you opted to take the 2 points when they were on offer. Obviously Dragons they were down to 12 men. Was that just a sign of respect for how well they were defending, or was that the mindset going in just to take points?
Yeah, mindset going in, understanding grand finals, understanding the type of game it was likely to be. We have a simple approach. If it puts you an extra score in front, whether that's 1 score or from 6 to 8, then we tend to take 2. And ultimately we trust Liam and the leadership decision, but I thought that was quite a straightforward call.
And Harry Smith's kicking game was quite clinical tonight. I guess, what do you have to say about that performance, and how crucial is a good kicking game in top games like this?
I think it's a real strong point of ours now. Harry's kicking game in particular, but also we've added, since the semi-final, we have added a bit of variety through Bevan and dummy house kicking a little bit, so we've got that twin threat. But I think Harry Smith, as a young British halfback, I think we can all be really proud of how he's playing at the moment. Kicking well and defending well, which is fundamentals of a championship winning half.
Matty, one of the interesting things about tonight's game, when Catalans reached the grand final, a lot of people said, oh, the crowd will be rubbish and so on, but 58,000 and odd compared to 45,000 when they were here 2 years ago against St Helens. Big tribute to your fans actually, because you had a hell of a turnout, I thought, tonight, and shouted you home, didn't they? They were really great to be behind you. But the Catalans brought quite a few as well, which was great to see, and it's great to see that those miserable predictions for the crowd didn't really turn out.
We're good at that, and we believe we're good at making miserable
Absolutely.
predictions. But I think two things. I think credit to French Rugby League and the club they've built under Steve and Bernard, and I think the momentum they're certainly building, so many young, talented French players in that squad at the moment. I think Steve was right to just single them out this week, and the backbone of the Catalan team is French. No one would be able to think, and I think that's why they travel in numbers. But our supporters, I think all season, I think you can see something building at Wigan. I think the fans are loving watching the team play. I do think they admire the fact that, as you mentioned, that we're out and amongst the community and we're connected. And I think if you trace back, we've had a lot of record away attendances for other clubs, which is again is testament to some of it, should I say, is testament to our fans. Good Friday was a sellout. The atmosphere that DW is building at our fan village at Robin Park. So people talk about what we're building on the field, but off the field there's a lot to be proud of.
Liam, just a word on your former teammate, good friend of yours, Sam Tompkins, playing his final game. Just a word on his career and your thoughts on him.
I've said it many times, he's, if not the best, one of the best players playing Super League. To win the Man of Steel twice at two completely different parts of his career, one where he was dancing around players when he's 19, 20, and the back end of his career where he's completely changed his game and used his head a little bit more. And I think he's just been an absolute fabulous player. For his desire to win, his commitment to his cause and his team is outstanding. And one of the first things I did after the final whistle went was go and give him a hug, just because, such compared to, I know he'd been devastated that he's lost, but he deserved to go out on the greatest stage, and that was tonight. And he's built for these kind of games, and I'm just so proud. I've been a big part of his career. We've known each other since I was 12, 13, and to be a part of his career and him finish now, I'm grateful to be a part of it.
All okay, folks, now?
Excuse me, before we on, can I just, normally it happens in a league game, or unfortunately, but just to thank the press and the media for the way you've been with us this year. I think from those of you that could come, our opening event at Wigan, those that made the effort to come over as well. You know, we see a lot of you on some miserable evenings at some less glamorous games, so thank you on behalf of everyone at Wigan Club.
Have you got the vote for the Harry?
Yeah, I just need to sort this out. I'll give you. Harry Smith was a very close second.
Yeah.
Was he?